All right, it's that time again, time for another Sunday video. On that note, let's get started. Before we get too far down the trail, we have the Corporals Corner charcoal gray hoodies that are available right now on my website. We have OD green as well. The logo is embroidered. So if you haven't seen this, check it out, corporalscorner.com. We range from size small all the way to 5X, so check them out. Now, with that, I've had this idea in my head for 5 years. I've seen the picture in my mind. I knew exactly what I wanted to do. It was just a matter of finding the time and somebody competent to actually, that I could trust to actually sew this bag up for me. So right now, I want to introduce you to the Corporals Corner Bushcraft Ruck. Check this out. This skillet right here is going to replace the previous one. That was a 6-inch skillet. This one here is 8 inches across. We have a 6 1/4 base, and we have an 1 3/4 side walls. We also have that classic removable handle. It's exact same size as the other one, so it's a one handle that fits all. So you can carry both pans with you into the woods, and one handle if you choose to. Best part is, it fits inside the Corporals Corner skillet bag, just like the others, along with a 6x12 grill and a full-size spatula. Boom! The skillet bag and the big boy skillet are available right now. There's 100 dropped into my website. That link is in my video description box. Jump on them because they're going to go fast. So with this pack next to my body, you can actually get a size comparison. I'm 6'1", 225, and you can actually see how large this pack actually is. Think of it in a medium Alice pack. Now, before we get too far into the features and different pouches and bags on here, I want to give you a history, a real quick, just rundown of how I came up with this bag. For those that watch my channel over the years, you know that I'm a history buff and I enjoy the Vietnam War era. A lot of my gear that I carry is inspired by that. I tend to make my gear inspired by the past. And for me, my dads and all my friends' dads were in that Vietnam War era, and a lot of them served in Vietnam. And some didn't come back, unfortunately. But we grew up listening to the tales and the stories and seeing, news clips and, 10 years after the war, 20 years after the war, and then hearing all the horrific things that went on there on both sides, and just growing up with that, and seeing all the dads that were military inspired me to go in the military as well. And here I am. So that's the era that I come from. Now, during that era, we had a tropical rucksack. Here's a picture of it right here. Just looking at that pack, you see that there's a square frame on the inside of it with an X pattern. That was meant to keep the pack flush to your back. If you didn't have something like that, you would just stuff it full and it would kind of round itself. So when you'd walk, it would move on your back like this and bounce around. With that metal frame, it kind of kept it flush and low beneath your shoulders. And that was their solution at the time. Nowadays, most backpacks have a foam pad inside there that keeps it flush against your back. Now, I want to say around 1973-ish, it might be before that, it might be a little bit later, we pulled out of there in 75. We began training the Vietnamese people to handle their own country's business. And in doing so, we created a line of gear for them. And one of the most famous packs of that time was the ARVN Rucksack, otherwise known as the indigenous rucksack. Looking at those packs side by side, you notice on ours we had 3 small pouches around the outside, and they had 2 large dump pouches. Now, the most favored pack at that time among the US soldiers was the ARVN pack. However, we weren't issued the ARVN pack. we had to find them off of dead Vietnamese. So they would just take the packs and they would swap them out and use those. They wanted larger pouches. Now, towards the end of the war, we came out with what we know as the Alice pack. And it was the first round of Alice packs. They basically combined both those packs together. The larger outside pouches, they made 3 of them on the outside of the Alice pack, took the internal frame off, created the Alice pack frame that we know today with the lumbar support to raise it up and put it against your back. And so all the cool things that we enjoy today came from a combination of both those packs. Now, I've always been fascinated once again by the Vietnam War. And I too like that Arvin rucksack. However, modern day usage of either one of those tropical rucksacks or the Arvin rucksack, they're too small and that frame sucks. So here's what I did. The pack I just showed you, I went ahead and reversed it. I took a modern day Alice pack, the size, width, depth, and the pouches, and that comes out to around 35 liters. I went ahead and took that and beefed up the old school Arvin pack to the same dimensions as an Alice pack. Also allows the Arvin pack or my Bushcraft Ruck to be attached to an Alice pack frame. Along with that, we took the old school buckles off and added a center sleeve between the 2 pouches to accommodate a shovel or an axe. This right here is the collaboration with Campcraft Outdoors. They're sewing all these bags as we speak, and we're looking at dropping these on my website on Black Friday. So real quick, we have the size and shape of an Alice pack, but we have the actual build of an Arvin rucksack. So this is the wax canvas from Campcraft Outdoors, and I believe the material thickness is either a number 8 or a number 10. And they did all the work on this. Everything's made in the USA, and to be brutally honest, this is probably one of the thickest and most durable bags that I've seen on the market. Once again, we're about 35 liters with everything full and your shovel or axe sleeve right down here in the center. We have buckles right here. You can open that up. The size of this pouch will accommodate a large poncho or 2 MREs. Moving on from our 2 pouches and our axe sleeve, we have 2 hollow spaces behind each pouch, just like an Alice pack. It actually starts right here and it goes all the way through to the base. So not only can you carry an axe or a shovel in the center pouch, you can also shove additional gear, like an additional axe or a shovel, into one of these 2 open spaces. Holding our top flap down, you got 2 buckles, and the extra nylon material actually runs down through the open spaces that we talked about, and they come out the bottom with additional material for a bedroll. And the last item to talk about on the back part right here is once we undo our 2 buckles, just like an Alice pack, we have an additional pocket sewn into the top flap. Moving right along to the bottom, there's the bottom opening to that pouch that we talked about. There's our axe sleeve. Here's the other opening. Our strap passes through there that holds the top flap down. All you got to do is loosen that flap and give some material, and then it creates a loop for a bedroll. A bedroll or a foam pad can be placed inside here with these straps that are already there. And then just simply tighten them down and you're in business. Now the straps that are attached to that bag will accommodate an accordion style mat or a roll-up foam pad, a standard size. However, Campcraft Outdoors is going to throw in 2 additional extra long bedroll straps in case you want to put an actual cowboy bedroll on the bottom of that. So you can actually see right here the size difference. So these will come with it. Now for the back portion. We have a sewn in foam pad to keep it flush against your back. You have 2 built-in shoulder straps right here. 2 D-rings, we'll talk about those later. At the base, we have 2 D-rings as well that hold the shoulder strap in place. All you gotta do is loosen one side and slide it out or tighten it down to your liking. It's all sewn in here at the base. The most important feature on the back here is this added flap that I mentioned earlier that will go over top an Alice pack frame. This bag serves 2 purposes. One, if you're on some trail, you want to do a day hike. You want to go travel somewhere and throw clothes in it for the overnight. You want to hop on a bus or an airplane. You got to pass through security. You can do all of that. You have a built-in foam pad, keeps it flush against your back, 25 to 40 pounds, no pack frames needed. It should be comfortable as is. That's intent number one. Intent number two, I'm going to go out there for 3 to 5 days or more. I need 75 pounds or 80 pounds of gear, maybe even 100 pounds of gear. I need to attach this to a pack frame, get it off my back, up high, with lumbar support, padded shoulder pads. In my mind, an Alice pack frame suits that beautifully. So we want to attach this to that frame for longer hikes, longer duration. You're out there 3 to 5 days or more. You need to carry a bunch of food, and so on and so forth. So not only can you walk around town, hop on a bus, train, plane, etc., you can also take it, attach that frame, and you're out there in the woods for several days. And that's the design intent behind this bag. So we had two design intents for that bag. First one, lightweight, day scout, you're golden, no problem. The second one was to carry more equipment, more gear, more clothes, more food. Far too often we see these bags and they have 10 pouches all attached to them, all around the sides, on the shoulder straps. And it's like, when I see that, it's like, get a bigger bag. And that's exactly what we've done here. Alice pack frames are sold separately. You can get these online, Amazon, eBay. Go to uglytent.com. Once again, uglytent.com. I'm quite sure he's got several of these just sitting there. But when you get one, make sure you have the lumbar support and you have your shoulder pads. Now this is optional. You can leave these things loose like this, or what you can do is just simply go ahead and tighten them down. It doesn't really matter. You just want them away from this area because you're going to take that pack frame and stick it up underneath here. So just tighten them down enough to move them out of the way. And then you can go ahead and stuff these away later. There you go. And just open that up. And these can be placed however you want because it's actually going to be behind the frame, so it's not going to really impede anything. But you want this area open right here. You'll attach your straps on here later, but you want them free to be able to be placed up underneath. You shove it all the way to the top, just like that. Just like an Alice pack, you have your metal clip right there that's attached to your frame. We're going to just feed this through the front, go up around, and then place it right through here. And you go down, and then up. The D-rings that we use to attach our built-in shoulder strap, all I did was loosen them up, pull that shoulder strap off there. Taking our built-in material that's sewn along the base of the pack, we're going to go through the frame right here, and then through our D-rings. And then pull it tight. And we're attached to the frame at the base and at the top as well. At this point right here, it's dealer's choice. Do whatever you want with them. They're behind the frame, nobody cares. You can wrap it around the base of the lumbar support and then just do a half hitch and keep them on there. That way they're out of the way. Nothing's gonna harm them. It's not gonna rub on anything. They're not gonna get cut or frayed. And they're there when you need them, when you wanna take them off the pack frame and use it for a regular standard backpack. Done. And there you have the Bushcraft Rucksack. Now, here's exactly how this is going to work. If you follow me on Facebook, Corporals Corner Facebook, Corporals Corner on Instagram, and you're on my email list at corporalscorner.com, you're going to be notified. I'll notify it the Sunday before Black Friday. I'll send an email out on the email list. I'll notify everybody on Facebook multiple times, as well as Instagram, and say, hey, Black Friday, they're going to drop. Now, it's going to be an extreme limited quantity. Why? Because they're all being handmade in the United States, and only so many can be made by so many people. As the demand grows, we'll go ahead and probably hire a couple people and produce out double or triple what we're doing. We plan on selling these to the rest of the year, all the way up through next year. Along with that, I got several items dropping, and we're going to start that around Christmas time and work our way all the way through next year as well. So I highly advise you get on my email list, corporalscorner.com, and follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Now, with that, let's go ahead and get out of here. All the gear in my videos can be found on one spot, my website. And once again, it's corporalscorner.com, and that link is in my video description box. Now, please do me that favor. Hit that like and subscribe button, and then ring that notification bell. Once you ring that bell, please select all notifications. And as always, thank you for your comments, views, and support. Thanks for watching. Get out in the field, have some fun. I'm going to catch you next time.